they're living currently, right? And then they get the call to adventure. Now, using something like Star Wars, right? Because good old Lucas was a big Joseph Campbell fan, right? That's like when Obi-Wan, is like, hey, you need to come and bring balance to the Force like your dad, right? And Luke is like, nah, actually, I can't do that. I can hear Aunt Brew calling me. She has blue milk, right? And this is where you sort of get your mentor to latch. Then you have some sort of supernatural aid that makes you cross the threshold between your old life and your new life. Now, for using the example of Star Wars, right? The thing that ends up um, happening is that his aunt and uncle are killed, and he is forced to be helped by his mentor, Obi-Wan, to accept his destiny. And he begins to cross the threshold into tests, training, enemies, and allies. And this is like not only just where you begin to like uh come into your supernatural powers, or that you begin to transition into the magical world. It's where we establish who are your friends going to be, right? Like Han Solo and Princess Leia. Who are your enemies going to be, right? We set up the Empire, the Stormtroopers, and Darth Vader, right? Then eventually you have to approach, the lion's den or the darkest cave or wherever it is that the bad guys are, right? And sort of your midway point is your first showdown, your big showdown, your first blood. You have some sort of win here. So, going with a Star Wars, A New Hope reference here, right? This is when they're able to get the princess back from the Death Star, and they have to run away. The road back, the magic flight. As they're running away, the trap is, Obi-Wan and like Vader fighting. This becomes the final stand. They are the ones who have the final stand in that first movie. The day is saved by Obi-Wan essentially sacrificing himself and allowing them to escape, right? Then they essentially return with the information to disseminate that information to the rebels, and that leads into the new status quo of this is our new team that's been assembled together that is going to be going into the next part of the story and in this new status quo, right? So this hero journey, this can happen only once, or like we were just giving in the example of like Star Wars, this can happen multiple times over the course of a larger story arc where that is essentially doing this thing, right? So this romantasy story is going to follow a hero arc. Our female main character, she is going to take this hero's journey. Now, the question that I have yet to answer for myself is, are we only going to go around the circle once, right? Can we tell a full enough, robust story that introduces all the love interests and integrates them by going around this circle once? Or do we have to do it multiple times? Or are we going to, in order to make it the right level of robust, are we going to break it in half, where essentially it's a duet or something where we only make it halfway around the circle in the first book, and then we have to round out the second half in the second? That we haven't gotten to yet. I'm still sort of laying the base groundwork of what is this world? How do the magic systems work? However thin, What if Luke was like, nah, I'm going to Tachi Station, right? Exactly. I'm going to Florida for 2 weeks and not bringing my work laptop. Damn, Jane, let's go. If you want to do a Dark Souls reference, the easiest is mentioning the furtive pygmy. So easily forgotten. Posted pics of mine in pics and vids in the disco. Hell yeah, let's go. What if Luke was like, you actually believe in the Force? That's so embarrassing for you. So Han literally does say that. Han literally says that straight to Obi-Wan's face. He's like, oh my god, you're a fucking hippie crunchy, like, Jesus freak? That's embarrassing for you, actually. What if Luke just wanted to slay Diva Boots the house down? Honestly, in the books, Nick, that's kind of what he does. He kind of just starts serving cunt around Return of the Jedi. He's like, bitch, I wear all black now and leather. And I'm kind of in my bad bitch phase. And you know what? I'm going to restart the Jedi Order. You know what? I decided that being celibate as Jedis isn't a good fucking idea. Look at what happened to my parents. So we're gonna start the Jedi Order. It's gonna be less uptight. You can fuck now. We're gonna go to Yavin 4 and do some drugs. You know, meditate, float. Might fuck around and hang out with the Sarai Car, the queen of the Gen Sarai. I want to read an unlikely story about a sacred hero who refuses the entire journey. Somehow things work out, then profit. That's sort of, kind of a little bit like Silksong, honestly. Shark Tank is where the bad guys are. Shark Tank, Lion's Den. Rhonda was just a normal person with normal interests like sleeping with dragons, especially that dreamy dragon dong longa gong gong. One day, Rhonda, while getting a perfectly normal consumerism item at a prestige brand, spilled stuff, completely ruined this guy's faux scale jacket, and now she has to make a payment. But wait!